Hello and welcome to this week's episode of the Duskmourn Chronicles, or as I like to call it, setting the world on fire.
Yeah, that's we did.
All sorts of things happened last week. It is a very intense political episode last week, and so we're not going to do a recap because there's just too much. You'll have to watch the episode for shame.
Let's just say thank you very much to the dice gods for those crazy rolls.
Yes.
All of the
A lot of the world is helping us, and that is good. That's the
when your DC is 22 and you only fail it 4 times out of what?
13.
13.
Pretty good.
Not bad at all. All right. And so you find yourselves in the dwarvish city of Auchbech as the champions or the protectors of the free world, protectors of the realm that hasn't been settled upon just yet.
Yeah, viewers, if you have any suggestions for our band name, be appreciated.
The sillier the better.
Yes.
I mean, sure.
Something.
Something that you would use in front of, say, the world's leaders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life and singers.
There we go.
I mean, that's not...
One of the options.
Yeah.
Anyway, let us know your comments down below. So we're going to kick off. Auchbech, the dwarvish city, currently being rebuilt by dwarves and centaurs working together. Neither of them ever thought they would see the day, and the rest of the world leaders are just an arcanogram call away. What are the four of you doing? Last week's elegant and eloquent speeches, and now we're at all.
We are off script now, so...
Yeah. Well, Gottfried is pushing to go immediately to the suggestion.
I'm very ready to follow the sense that I have.
Let's get going. There's no
Let's do it.
reason to wait anymore.
Get to the chopper. Let's go. Yep.
I don't suppose Benteen could pilot for us.
Listen. Stop thinking with your...
Oh, before we do go, Gemini remembers that the Thane had said that might try to see, if they could find a little something for her. So she's just like going to go schmooze the Thane.
I imagine you've been singing over the last few days to try and raise spirits in the city. And you've
just doing a little bit of the classics, but her heart's not in it.
He did say he would try and find something for you. He did.
If there's a really good tattooist in the that can do magical tattoos, that'd be cool.
the dwarves are more like stripes and
musical instruments. They have lots of those magical instruments as well.
Let's see if he finds anything.
Does he find anything?
Yeah, you can use inspiration. DM inspiration.
DM inspiration, yeah. So you've been doing lots of singing.
Yeah, I've been, doing her bit to be thankful for them putting a roof over her head and food. So she has been doing little performances, perhaps teaching a bit of music to some of the children, trying to do all the nice stuff whilst killing time, really.
Yes. So in recognition of that, and because they went and had a look to see if there was anything in the treasury because of your association with these three particularly, the only thing that they have is an old... It kind of looks like a barking dog figurine.
Great.
It's a dog. It's about this big, about 3 inches, 2.5 inches long, and it's got its little mouth open, and it appears to be hollow.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not dwarvish, mind.
No.
But we also don't know what to do with it, so we thought it would be perfect for you.
Right.
What a compliment.
Insofar as you put this wee little doggy in front of you, and it will project your volume.
Oh, it's a fucking microphone.
Wow. Where does it originate from? Do you know?
To be perfectly honest with you, it's from the old hordes. So we don't know where it came from originally. We do know
Mysterious.
that we brought it up when we were in our rightful place in the Underdark.
Wow.
So it's really old.
Really old.
Aye. Since being able to speak to a mass audience has never really been a requirement. It's never really been used, but we thought it could be useful for you.
Well, I do love an audience.
Now
Aye.
you pushed me to find a gift, and I looked at the bottom of my drawer, and this is what I found.
Found this in the attic.
Aye.
And I'm sure with a lick of paint or a few rhinestones, I can make it something really fabulous.
Aye.
Yeah.
Mind, don't put it down and begin speaking and then walk away and speak. It'll carry on broadcasting it out in a very loud sound.
Oh, right. So really
Aye.
need to use it for the intended purpose.
Pick
and
it up.
not-
Could use that.
Yeah.
you could use
And
it.
I suppose if I put it next to some people who thought they were having a private conversation and then
Everybody in the room
everyone would hear,
will
oh
hear.
gosh,
Oh,
I
that's
must be
really
ever
good.
so careful with that, mustn't
Aye.
I?
Literally, it becomes a wee bit of a curse, to be perfectly honest with you.
Do you know if there's a way of, so just if it's on the ground it does that, if it's picked up it doesn't do such things?
And no, once it's in a bag or something like that,
Right.
it seems to be enough.
Well, thank you for this very intriguing gift.
Aye.
Hmm.
We thought it was appropriate.
Yes, and you know, if I return at some point on tour, do be sure to make sure people have heard of me. Perhaps a tapestry or something, you know, just to mark my wonderful time here. I just like to leave a mark. So just remember me next time you're chiseling.
Sure.
Sure.
You leave the thing wondering what the hell he's going to be doing when he's chiseling. I'm not a stonemason.
She doesn't
That's my
understand
brother.
what they do.
What haunts your mind? You know,
I'm going to ask him how he chisels. So,
Before we set off, I'll have done maybe two things if I can, Guy.
yes,
Um,
absolutely. This is your time.
Yeah, okay. I will just I stock up on some shopping stuff, so I'll just tell you what I've acquired.
Yeah. You can
Some
buy anything. Yep.
incense, some powdered silver, a jeweled horn,
Oh, yeah.
some powdered diamond, and some other spell components. Essentially, if it's okay, I'll
Perfect.
manage-
Not a problem.
I'll
Go ahead.
manage the gold.
Yep.
And then I will go and speak to Alexander and just tell him kind of, I'm sure he's informed as to our plan to use him as a figurehead or, you know, help him retake Howden Lee. And I just want to wish him best of luck. And also, is there any way that we could stay in touch with Alexander?
Am I not coming
Potentially.
with you?
Oh, I thought we'd agreed that he was going to go to the Howden Lee.
I don't think you should want it.
Alexander, we promised you that we would take back Howden Lee. We are giving you the army of almost the entire world to do that.
No, you're
This
not.
is your
They're doing their investigation first.
first, but eventually the plan is, Alexander, that you will retake Howden Lee and sit on your throne once again. We promised you that. And this is the best way to do it. You need to act as the figurehead for the known world.
Apparently, he has a very good idea. I see. And you're leaving me here with the dwarves?
For now, until you can be ferried to Howden Lee safely, because currently the seas are inaccessible. And at the right time, we'll either take you by sea or by airship to Howden Lee to meet with the
In your opinion,
armies.
which of the nations are the best? Actually, thank you, Dorian, for that. You can go. Please send Everardus in.
Oh.
He's getting all kingly. Good boy.
I
Good
leave
boy.
and I sent Everardus in.
stroll in like, hello, my king.
I'm getting used to you being Everardus. But I do recall that you were particularly ruthless in those early days, a couple months ago at best. And I think we've both grown a lot since then.
We have.
In your opinion, which of the nations that you are currently in charge of are the best at making generals?
Best at making generals.
Good, strong leaders with tactical understanding.
Well, that's something I've been considering also. It won't be the Ferris.
The Furious. Yeah.
But surely the Great Mark are powerful.
Oh, in a sense, but they lack perspective.
Nuance.
Okay. So who then?
They're stupid.
Then I would say it would be between the. You want a diverse portfolio.
Yes. All of them. In a different
Mm.
way. All of them in a different way.
Jordan is at the
keyhole.
door going,
Hey, Everard, tell him about it.
They each have their specialities and strategies, and it would behoove you to learn the best of each. We have them as resources, so why not? Why settle for anything less?
How long do you think they're going to take to infiltrate and find out this information?
We must ask you for your patience, Alexander.
It's not a question of patience. It's more a question of, I understand your counsel, and if it is that I should spend time with each of the nations learning their particular approach to warfare, I accept that, and I will do that. But how much time do I have?
Very good.
I thought we were going for...
Anyway, never mind.
You have... Our missions, you see, are running in tandem with our plans to retake Howden Lee. But I cannot promise you how soon we will be ready or how soon you will be ready. You may even not be ready when we make our start. If you were to give us a time, though, I would say months, at least.
You know that you talk a lot more now that you are back to being Aberardus than when you were Avery.
Is that a compliment?
Can you send in Gemini, please?
You know, I was once advisor to the High King.
Yes. Yes.
You think that role would be up for grabs again in the future?
Job interview.
I'll just put my reference here and I'll send you Gemini.
Don't worry, Aberardus.
Thank you. And you're doing very well, Alexander. We're all very proud of you, and Georgie would have been as well.
Oh.
Punch in the fields.
Oh.
Yeah, he starts to tear. Gemini, please, Gemini.
Yeah.
My baby. I'm torn between my heart, which is Georgie. The young prince. I've heard so much about you. It's a pleasure to meet you at last.
I have heard very little about you, except that you come from a place that was defeated by the Shadowfell.
That is correct, yes.
In your opinion, what was the failure of your leaders?
I'm afraid I was not in a position of rubbing shoulders with the leaders of my lands. But I think their failure was to see the small infiltrations. I believe that is something that is starting to happen now, and the leaders needed to have won the hearts of the people. If the people are not being helped, then they are going to look for something different. And if the shadow is offering better than the leaders, be better than the shadow, to summarize.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders. I say follow your gut. You can't go wrong there.
Interesting.
Pleasure to meet you.
And likewise, Alexander has decided that he is going to go and study warfare and tactics under the Barbari.
Great
Interesting.
decision.
Well, they are all about their people.
Good man.
Mm.
Good man.
Good man.
Good man yourself. I'm doing an Irish accent.
All right.
Accent
Say impersonation
inception.
is the highest form of flattery. So I'll take that.
Not in this case.
Definitely
Wow.
not. I'm afraid.
Oh my God. Okay.
Sorry about
Fine.
that.
Airship crashes. Everyone dies. What a pity. Thanks for playing. Right.
What a
so,
great campaign.
So what are you doing?
Let's go. Let's fly.
Fly.
The
To
name
the
of the
Sejeti Empire.
airship with the Shalen?
The Shailen. Yes.
Shailen.
And the Captain Higgard.
Shalen Higgard.
That's right. The UDS Shailen and the Captain Higgard.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
What's our course? Where are we going?
Direct.
Gemini
Points at One of your tattoo.
tries to concentrate on the longing within her, and like a compass, is gonna stick out her arm in the direction.
Of the
They
nearest
are
cherry
going.
bakewell.
You are obsessed.
And finished. With that very well too, actually. They bring cover
It's
up.
delicious.
Right, so you are on Auchbeck on this giant map. I have a bigger map, but it's all over there and it takes a lot of rolling out. Should have done that, I suppose. You are all the way over here in Auchbeck and you want to go north-northeast.
Yes.
So sort of this way, which is north-north, which is east, northeast, north-northeast as well. But this is your sort of,
Yeah, when she
Generally.
looked at the map and that was like
yes.
the direction it
That
was
feels
going,
like the
but
direction.
she wants to confirm that is it still feeling the same pull in the same direction? Great.
Mm, absolutely.
Where's the Pharos actually sitting in the Sejeti Empire? Where is
The
this?
Pharos has multiple capitals. Memnehep is his biggest one. Otherwise, he's in Takatumen in the south. So Memnehep is the north, Takatumen is in the south.
Well, we should probably head towards. I mean, you were going to follow your compass, but it's not exactly precise. Maybe should we set
Memnehep, the capital, would be north-northeast from where you are.
Yeah.
Memnehep.
Okay.
Let's start heading in that direction. Now, I shall be throughout the journey checking in that we're staying on course.
And with
Right.
your permission, I would like to study your tattoo, cast, identify, etc. Try to understand what's going on with this thing as best I can.
With the tattoo?
With her tattoo that's giving her this direction.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will
I've got
also-
lots of tattoos.
Yeah.
But that is
You'll have to
a
focus
particular.
me up. Yeah, you'll have
Yeah,
to point. Yeah.
Fair. Fair. What are you doing?
I'm on an airship, guy.
I understand this. What are you doing on the airship?
I'm
Chilling.
there's
Because this, sorry.
Yeah.
To give you context, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-day journey.
Oh, okay.
12
Good.
days.
Yeah.
So I'm going to send 36 sendings.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm joking.
I will have, by the way, as we were just taking off, done a little.
Yes.
I practiced with the new dographone,
Yeah.
and done a little
Brilliant.
goodbye song to the
Yes.
dwarves and centaurs.
And you see one bagpipe guy on the rampart just crying.
I like that. It is really loud.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to,
Yeah.
That's
to
great.
know.
Yeah.
I will at some point in time have bearded with Gottfried, so
Mm.
have taken Gottfried to one side, and I tell him, Gottfried, I still remember the theological discussion that we had, and we will always seem to have around the Crepuscularium and our role in this,
Clutch.
in uncovering the secrets of this book, and I'm still troubled by your logic and your rationale, and I don't want to engage in an argument with you now, but I commissioned something for you, and I'm going to reach into my bag and take out a little prop.
Ooh.
I visited one of the dwarvish artificers and asked him to make for me something. It is a puzzle, Gottfried. And inside there might be something for you which will explain partly my rationale, partly my thinking. I would give this puzzle to you. Don't solve it now.
Unlikely that I'm going to do that ever.
Um,
It's an object. I don't do objects.
So I've given Gottfried an object, and casting Identify is not going to tell you how to solve it.
Okay.
In real time, you got to solve that puzzle because there's something inside there.
Fuck you. I mean, thanks. Fuck you.
I do have a solution to solving the problem.
You do.
Yes.
Says who?
I have an axe.
Yes, give me.
Right.
How to keep
This is not
Yes,
logical.
it's
This is just a
working.
physical thing. I can't do physical things. Anyway,
That's what I've done. That's what I've done for
So
Godfrey.
Godfried is just being.
no, Godfrey is going, thank you very much, puts it down and continues to read the Crepuscularium. That is all he is doing apart from
Good.
the tattoo.
Good. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, he is obsessed.
He is obsessed.
You've broken him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Physical objects.
And there's one other thing I would have done before I left Eric Barr. I just forgot
For
to do
sure.
is I would have approached the Dane and I would have said to him, Dane, we're leaving you soon, but thank you for your hospitality and for this example to the rest of the world about the dwarves and the centaurs working together. You and your people are a shining light and an example for everyone. But what it taught me was that life is precious and that we have lost people on all sides. I am worried about what happens if I pass on as well. And I would ask you to do one thing. When the seas open up again, if you can find a way to deliver this letter to the Duskmourn in Howdenlee, when it's safe to do so, it is to be opened only in the event of my passing. I made something.
That's cute.
And I'll give that to the DM for opening at the right time,
If ever.
if ever.
All right. All right.
Again.
I didn't have prepared for the last 2 times I passed away. Yeah.
That is what you have done. And it has made it so difficult to concentrate on your very serious action while you're busy going.
I'm gonna get that later. Much later. I'm dead. I'm gonna end up hacking that thing open. Anyway, no.
So, for 10 days, are you doing anything specific?
Yes, I am.
Oh, you are doing something specific. All right, there we go.
I am looking into the now defunct crystal orb,
Mm. Which crystal orb, remind me?
the one that Avery started with when he was but a bard.
Got you.
It used to house the spirits of the dead.
Mm.
Interestingly, there is a new occupant. There's a foggy feature swirling around this orb, and it resembles the dwarf that Avaradus slew on the battlefield and housed and trapped his spirit. Almost as though any time he uses his hex-cursed weaponry and skills, the spirits of those become property of Damnatha.
Ooh.
So I'm sitting in the darkened quarters, just reflecting on actions and feeling out the sword as it's summoned. It's miniature, it almost looks like a cavalry saber. And then diminishing it, and it disappears into a sort of spectral smoke as it vanishes. And each time I summon it, I can feel the influence of Alphonse.
Mm.
And then it goes again. And I'm just reflecting on how perhaps my life decisions, I need to make sure don't match the mistakes of the past.
Mm.
And then I spend the rest of my time looking at a curated list of books I got from speaking with some of the other generals
Mm.
that I would have retrieved from the libraries.
Okay.
And just trying to also, these would be ones that I would recommend Alexander, and I would be reading them myself as well. I would have passed on those book recommendations, and I'd be just trying to understand stratagem for myself.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right. Gemini?
So I will ask Gottfried to identify this dographone.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, do so.
And do I find out anything else or more specific?
Not particularly. Just that the way that it works is that it's actually sending the sound straight into the individual's heads.
Oh, okay.
Very nice.
But it's not discrete.
Yeah.
It's in a
Yeah.
cone. So if you're standing in front of it, it will be in your head.
Oh, that's very interesting.
So it's literally like a silent rave, basically.
Okay, like like a silent disco.
Yeah.
Oh, cool! That's really cool.
It's really good for broadcasting.
Well, yes, and I think when she discovers that, we may need to tell the gnomes about this, as this may be very useful to helping the people of Brunei know that their leaders are no longer to be trusted.
It does have an effective range of only 300 feet, though.
300 feet.
It's a cone,
That's pretty
300
good,
feet
yeah.
long.
Does it require achievement?
No,
We can pass that shit around.
that makes it problematic. Because literally, you're like, oh, I wonder what I'm having for lunch.
Yeah.
And that's
I
being
wonder what I'm having
broadcast
for
to
lunch.
everybody
Yeah.
in that direction
Right.
and other body sounds.
Yeah. Keep it wrapped up.
Yes.
Just anything that's behind it is broadcast in front of it.
Interesting.
Excellent. That's very useful. And she will be keeping it in a bag the whole time, trying to be very aware of it. She is going to once more be trying to find some inspiration. She's in the sky. There's clouds. There's views. Like, there's got to be some inspiration somewhere. But she's still feeling numb, and she can't quite accept that she is not in her plane. And so even though whenever she's talking to people, she's trying very hard to seem like she's got it all completely together, but she does not. And she will go and find places that she thinks are private to have a little cry when she needs to try and work through these feelings and these images that she cannot get out of her mind.
I suspect there's a slight irony that when you are flying through the clouds and the clouds are pink and orange and it is a spectacular sunset, that it just reminds you of how far away you are from home.
Yeah.
And that your home doesn't have these anymore.
No, it had been so long since she had seen colour this vibrant, and this world is so vibrant, and it's reminding her exactly why we're doing what we're doing, because she wants her world to look like this again.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right.
Also, if Averada sees you with this little dog, he'll ask you if I can just borrow it for a minute.
I'm never one to
Innocently
ignore
fluttering my
If I'm anywhere near them,
a-
don't give him anything.
cheeky grin.
We will end up in the shadow file.
Yeah, she likes somebody who's up to a bit of something. Yeah, make sure you return it to me.
Yeah.
And what are you lending me to play with whilst you use that?
Here's a. I just roll out a collection of knives, scalpels. Anyone take your fancy?
Oh, this one looks shiny.
Yeah.
Just gonna play with a knife.
What are you doing with the dog?
I'm going to wait until a dwarf enters the privy. I'm going to place it underneath the door.
Oh, do not do that to us.
Sadly, there's no privy on a ship, but there is a poop deck.
That works.
And the discreet little panels that have been set up by the dwarves because there's a lady on board mean nothing.
No.
Everyone's just wandering around going, what the hell? So you have managed to make the entire crew nauseous when they realize what's going on.
Very childish.
Oh, God.
Higid comes to you. I assume you return it?
Oh yeah, very quickly afterwards.
Yes.
And then make myself very scarce.
At dinner, Higid comes to you. I'm not entirely sure what it's like in your world, but the little stunt that you pulled this afternoon didn't raise morale. If anything, it improved our rations because no one was eating tonight's dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Lesson learned.
Why don't you leave the mirth and merriment of your profession in the box next time?
Your constructive criticism has been taken on board.
It's more of an order.
Of course. I have learnt my lesson, and she is staring daggers at
I'll just-
Avery.
Mm.
That's not going to go unchecked. Revenge on Avery goes into my
Yes,
notes.
Oh, and mine too, yes.
All right. So, for 7 days and 7 glorious nights, you are sailing, and eventually you leave the Dwarvish territories and you cross over the Great Barrier, the Grey Mountains, depending on your perspective, from the Dwarvish side or from the Sagetti side, and the great verdant green forests and the open cast mines of the Dwarvish territories suddenly give way to, it looks like an ocean of gold. The sand is just this intense yellow. And initially it looks quite boring, but then you're starting to adjust. You're starting to see that there's areas of creams, there's butters, there's ochres, there's orange area. There's this, suddenly you realize this desert is alive with color. And the clouds change completely as well. Long wisps of cirrus clouds hang high above you, and the air gets a lot colder at night. During the day, the temperature rises. Not excessively, but it does rise. It's definitely not the dwarvish controlled climates that the forests bring with them. And another 4 days pass, and it's just sand. However, on the second day, the sand changes quite dramatically. And at first you think you are over an ocean of brown water. But you realize you are sailing across the very center of the Sagetti Empire. And one of the dwarves will point out, it's the Sand Sea. It's made out of sand. And you're looking at it, and you can see little white crests. It looks like waves. You can see little white triangular-like ships sailing around on top of it.
Wow.
Cool.
What makes it behave in such a way?
Search me. This is as deep into
Save the derogatory terms.
elf territory that we've ever been. But yes, general knowledge, the Sand Sea is an ocean of sand, and if you drown in it, you are more likely to be skinned alive
yeah.
rather than to actually have suffocated. It's washed clean
So
to the bone.
Agitated.
Oh.
It's like it's moving around, it's agitated, the sand a little bit.
The thinking is it's you can drink a cup of Sand Sea.
Okay.
It's such fine
I
sand.
see, right.
Yeah.
It's its own currents and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I assume there are therefore creatures living in the sand sea as well.
Oh yes,
All kinds of nasty shit, I'd say.
And on that fact, as a matter, you can all roll a d20. You are looking for the number 14.
Nope.
No.
No 14s? Okay. Your journey continues, and the horizon suddenly changes. It's no longer just this flat, yellow horizon. There is a small white mountain that you can see. And then suddenly there are 5, and then 6. And then there are giants standing amongst those white mountains. And the captain, Higard, comes to you. By best estimates, we'll be arriving at Memnehep tomorrow, early morning. Unless you want to push overnight, but it's a bit risky.
How's your compass doing? Is it still?
Yeah, have we been keeping on track?
So this entire journey, nothing has changed. As you are getting closer and closer to Memnehep, however, it's starting to become a little confusing. North, northeast, north, east. It's sort of starting to swing.
Right.
And have I got any further insight into how this tattoo works from my studies?
Well, Your best guess is the tattoo looks like something that you've seen written before.
Ooh.
Well, it looks in the style of something that you've seen written before.
Mm.
And you realize that this tattoo could be some form of Shadowfell writing.
Remember when the guys wrote
Yeah.
the symbol?
Mm.
Yeah.
But there is also demonic and possibly a little bit of infernal in this design. Because there are some elements you like, but if you read it as infernal, it doesn't make any sense. The words don't make any sense. But if you look at it as if it was infernal, there's parts and the shapes and things that look like infernal script, but that also look like demonic script. But then that also look like the Shadowfell script. It's infuriating. However,
And I presume a comprehend languages doesn't help.
No, let's speak abyssal if you want.
comprehend languages would help.
Okay, we'll do it.
Yeah, to a degree. Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. We've never discussed the design of the tattoo.
No, we haven't.
No. So all of the words simply say the same thing. Here lies the truth.
Do you have any understanding of how you came to have this tattoo?
Well, yes, as I noticed the things becoming darker in my own land, I felt I should return home. When I returned home, there was already conflict and horrors that even I, as a bard, am unable to put into words. I truly thought the darkness was coming for me. But by some miracle, members of my house found me. And when I woke, my madre told me of a vision that they had had. And I also realized that I had this new tattoo from members of my house of Balikdor, those that had survived that far at least. They had placed this upon me, I believe, though I was not conscious for when it was there. The vision that my madre had, they saw me in golden sunshine. They said, unite the three, defeat the shadow. Music will move, return. And that is what I was told. There was very little time. My house began to sing a song. And there were other tattoos on me. I feel like some of these may have been tattoos of transportation. There is, in fact, one that I hope will take me home one day. But whilst that song was happening, agents of the shadow found us.
Wow.
They told me to run. I do not know if they survived. But I do know that they gave me what I needed, or at least what they hope I needed, to make Madre Rubinek's vision come true.
I understand. So they performed a sort of ritual that inscribed the direction of this vision into your skin. In that experience.
As well as I can understand it.
Indeed. That's most interesting. Unite the three, defeat the shadow, music will move.
Music will move was our house motto.
I see.
It is something that we hold on dear. You have heard people say music will move you with your heart. Or with us, it was also possible to move minds and bodies. I never knew quite how powerful it could be until I found myself in an entirely new plane.
one of my colleagues used to say, by means of music, the passions enjoy themselves. I think this is most interesting. So you are now experiencing a certain uncertainty as regards the direction.
Yes, it keeps on changing, and I'm finding it very disconcerting.
I'm going to try, to the best of my ability, with it, whatever understanding I have of this thing, I'm going to kind of try and do something to kind of recalibrate it or fix it, basically, give us a more solid direction. I don't really know how I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to try. Yeah.
Have you tried singing at it?
I'm not going to do that. I will try a tongues spell,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to try and get the tongue spell to replicate this weird synthesis of the three languages together, and literally speak to it to see if there's any change.
What?
Where must we go?
I'm going to give him bardic inspiration.
Sure.
You start singing, and I'm like,
You're starting to say the words, and I'm going to start
Where must
chanting
we
those words
go?
along you.
or if I can alter that a little bit,
Doesn't work. Yeah, try.
where is the second volume of the Crepuscularium?
No change.
Reboot. In those questions, I'm getting nothing at all, as if it's just not working at all.
Nothing seems to be changing.
Here lies the truth. Okay, Godfrey will just ponder this for a while, see if he can see if I can think of something. Leave it with me.
How many books are there?
Just 3. Where's number 2?
No change.
Where's number 3?
You rise up into the air about 2.5 feet
Oh my!
and then drop back down onto the deck. The tattoo changes shape,
Ooh.
and now you no longer have a sense of north, northeast, etc., etc. You now have the sense that you get when your stomach lifts up when you're on a plane,
Mm-hmm.
from turbulence or a roller coaster, and you feel like it's no longer on this planet.
Oh, shit.
Oh. It's not here anymore. It's not on this world any longer. Does it feel like it's no longer on this plane?
Number 3, right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to give me a wisdom. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Whee. That is a 7. Oh no! Don't kill my second character!
I start on the third character.
You watch as you're trying to focus on this thing. Gemini is starting to disappear.
Oh!
I will cast Dispel Magic.
No effect.
Bye. What I can do?
I grab you as though I can just pull you from.
It's like
I'll say to the tattoo, still speaking its language,
Yes.
stop.
It's like grabbing a marshmallow. It shouldn't be this soft.
Tell it to find volume 2, the one we're finding.
Okay, first of all, I'll say stop, and if that doesn't work,
No effect.
where is number 2?
You are suddenly thrown 180 degrees around, and the tattoo changes shape back to what it originally was, and you get the sense vaguely that it is northeast. And you start to reform again.
Okay.
Okay, I think as soon as Gemini has reformed, she is running to the side and she is throwing up.
Yeah.
Right.
Was that feeling similar to the feeling of when she made her way to this plane?
No.
No. Okay.
That was a feeling of waking up in a hotel room and thinking that it's your bedroom and then realizing that it isn't.
Oh, that's a great description.
Yes. Discombobulation.
Mm.
This was more a feeling of, to be perfectly honest with you, it felt like you were dying.
Wow.
Sorry.
Do not do that again. I thought I was dying.
Gottfried's trembling. The third volume is not in this world. The third volume is not in this world.
No.
Okay. I'm going to start try and basically reverse engineer this synthesis of 3 languages from the tongue spell that I've just, with the aid of a comprehended language spell. I want to learn this language. I also want to cast Detect Thoughts on the tattoo. In case it's sentient.
Yeah.
Sure.
Why not?
Detect Thoughts reveals nothing.
Okay, so
It
it's
is
not
not
sentient. Okay.
All of your efforts in terms of this language, it's going to take you a couple of days.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
And it would be really useful if you had access to a library. Because this is 4 words.
Right.
And Abyssal, Infernal, Shadowfell, you don't even know the language.
Well, I've heard it.
Yeah,
I've
You've heard it.
Yeah.
Yes.
One sentence.
Correct. Infernal and Abyssal, that's a different story. The Abyssal doesn't even have the word for truth.
Right.
I speak Abyssal, by the way, because
Yes.
of the demonic
Okay,
book,
so the two of you are working on it?
Yeah.
How's your Infernal?
Anybody speak Infernal?
You should speak.
Well,
I do. I speak Infernal.
Oh, well, the 3 of you can get together and... Okay, I love that.
Soul is
I
Soul
can
is
speak
a
Infernal as well.
I've
Yeah.
gone Infernal as well.
You've got Infernal?
You
All
thought
right.
you had 2 days to think up what it was.
Player
No.
agency.
Absolutely. So, yes, between the lot of you, I am going to require an investigate. You each get to roll investigate, all 4 of you. You each get to roll investigate, and I am looking for 60 in total.
Oof.
Can I do 4 guidance? Or just 1?
guidance has changed, isn't it?
Has it?
You just pick a specific skill and it lasts for a minute.
So you
Instead of-
investigate.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh,
How does that make it?
Only one person.
Only one person?
Because he's,
But I guess we're doing it over time, right? This is not like...
That's true.
Well, no. This is a singular roll. This
Okay,
is,
so
this
then
is
just one.
One
I
person.
think
gets
it's fair
guidance.
as well.
I think that's.
does that mean no bardic inspiration?
Well, you can give it to
No.
one person.
In that case, I shall. Who's got really good? Yeah, I'll give it to Gottfried. He's the one who's been helping me the most. I'm still learning about
You
these
can take a
two.
D4 as well from me.
I'm going to burn every bit of inspiration I
Yeah.
possibly have to get this to work.
Okay.
We go at the same time.
Yeah.
1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Ooh. Oh.
Burning that right away. Burning that right now.
Oh yeah, ditto.
Oh!
Are you kidding me?
It's fancy.
Me too.
I've got
20.
17.
20, 18, so that's 38 already.
17.
Mine is,
I'm
20
already there.
plus 28 for me.
Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Okay.
My 18.
This
minus
language,
What was one?
if you had to guess, this might just be one of the first languages. Because of the way that it's structured, Abyssal could have come out of this language. Infernal could have come out of this language. Shadowfell,
It's a mother language, yeah.
this could be, yes, the original language of the gods. Or something older. Because if you look at it, you go, well, angelic could also be a
Right.
derivative
Celestial,
of
yeah.
this, or celestial, yeah.
It's like a logos,
Proto-language.
like a first profile.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh,
I like that.
I am trying to learn and reverse engineer this
The
proto
proto-language.
The proto, you're like,
Otherwise known as Welsh.
The logos. All right.
so that's
This is great. The language of reality. Okay, so
That was all 4 of us working together.
yes.
yes.
Hell, let's never do that again.
It's like,
It's not nearly as much fun.
Unconcerting. Disconcerting.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just starting
So,
to see you two do have uses.
Oh. So,
I don't know them yet.
I don't think she's happy about you using the dog thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
not
that
really
was
not
a
happy about
mistake,
that.
man.
Is it a
Man.
dogophone? No.
I'm calling it a dogophone.
Dogophone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. HMV. Right.
That's
There
what
you
I
go.
thought about.
Yeah. Okay. So, does that insight by itself give me any better understanding of what this thing is supposed to do and how it works?
It's just very old magic.
It's just incredibly old.
Yes.
magic.
Whoever gave it to you
Yeah.
has knowledge that has been lost. That
Yeah.
you didn't even know existed.
Yeah. Does that in any way combine with any of the stuff I've been reading over the last 12 days in the Crepuscularium? Anything come together there?
Well, thinking about it from that perspective,
Mm.
the Crepuscularium is not, it makes references to things and to places that don't exist.
Mm.
And it doesn't reference gods by, it's got that lists. Remember those thousands of names of
sixes.
gods?
Yeah.
The current named gods are not at the beginning of that list.
Mm.
They're at the end of that list. So the Crepuscularium could also have originally been written in this
In this language.
proto-language. In which case, the Crepuscularium is one of the oldest books in existence.
Which would make a great deal of sense. And do I get any kind of... The one little kind of working hypothesis that Godwin has is that maybe all these gods, these thousands of sixes, are like an original species rather than anything else. Does that tie in with anything it said?
There doesn't seem to be any link between these.
Right.
Just that there's 6 of them.
The number 6. Sorry, I'm going to have to start reading Pythagoras.
And did you find out that also in the book that the list of gods, they were given the same areas of influence? So like Halvoth is a god of life and death, and there was a Halvoth equivalent in one of the other gods. Did you get that?
I did not that specific, unfortunately.
Like a lineage.
Just that there's, and then not a family.
But we also talk about these hereditary. Recently we were talking about extinguishing a bloodline. Do you also get the view that these are?
There was no hereditary or genealogy.
There was no linkage between just these lists of names.
It was like a phone book. Yeah.
With no numbers.
Yeah. It's most interesting. Okay.
Blank pages.
For people who exist in other realities.
Could be. Yeah.
I'm surprised that the elders of my house would know such ancient language.
Maybe they did not so much know it as they channeled it or it spoke through them.
The Madre of the house was a very gifted clairvoyant, perhaps.
Yes.
It is something they saw without understanding.
Yeah. Well, this is... somehow we must ally ourselves with these progenitors of language because that mark is their legacy.
Yes.
And if we are to defeat the darkness, clearly we have to follow this. So the direction you've got now is still vague, or it's back to being vague.
Still swings northeast, northeast. It just seems to be.
It's like a compass that's a little awry.
Could be. The ship has been sailing whilst you've been doing this, and now it's swinging west, northeast.
Maybe we're kind of over it, and we need to kind of narrow
Perhaps.
down to a point. Yeah.
Or is it influenced by the other book that we have in our possession? Maybe it's swinging between.
No, you didn't seem to feel that when you arrived.
Yeah, plus we can get it to do each one.
What we should
individually.
do is put you right beside the helmsman, and just every time you feel west, turn west. Every time you feel north, turn north. And just see what happens.
Could it be that the Crepuscularium is moving? Could it be
Potentially. Or perhaps we
what's
are.
directly below us? The sand?
Everybody looks over and it's just sand.
The sand sea.
No, sand.
So we're
you
past
have left
sea.
the sand
Yeah,
sea.
yeah, okay. Yeah, so let's try that and see if it
Yes.
helps at all.
I'm
Okay.
willing to
Everyone
try
get
that.
a shovel and start digging. So we'll find it
Dig
eventually.
the desert. No problem.
Well, that is in the afternoon that you make this discovery. And doing that, for a while, it seems to slow down. And then you, how long are you going to do this for?
As
That's a good question.
until myself and the crew are too tired to continue.
All right.
I think
First
we're
the day.
sticking it, right?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
by,
so that's the day.
by evening, you've got to a point where it is no longer moving and it no longer feels north, east, south, or west. It feels right.
Land. Let's land.
So, about that, says Higid, not a good idea.
No.
This is a very heavy warship. I don't like the idea of us sinking into the sand, even though it's not the sand sea. It's still bloody sand.
Can you cast a sending to the Pharos to deliver that fucking sand ship he was talking about? That's what we need now.
Yeah, sure.
An evening's rest.
Mhm,
Hope the sand ship arrives and we continue below.
Yep.
Thank you for taking us this far.
I will blow my last third level slot. Cast fly.
Okay,
Fly off the...
sure.
So I'm still gripping the Crepuscularium and I'm flying off. My hands are trembling.
Yes.
I'm flying off the edge and going
Yes.
down, irrespective of the danger, irrespective of anybody's...
Do you want me to cast
Council.
invisibility on you?
Literally, you'll
It
have
is
to do it
dusk,
as I'm going. And I want to go directly below to see if I see anything remarkable. Anything sticking out of the sand.
It is infuriatingly all just
sand.
purple sand.
Purple sand.
'Cause of
'cause
the
it's
dust.
leaving. Ooh,
Yes.
ah.
It stretches
Oh.
all different directions, and when you look at it, you even sort of kick at the sand, vaguely hope for a thump or a
Right,
box. Or,
yeah.
It's just been left in the sand.
X marks the
Just
spot.
seems
No.
more sand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd say it's buried. It's like a sitting underneath the sand that's been, something like that.
It's
I know.
possible.
Are there any features on the sand that we can see where we are now? It's just all...
Especially with the fading light, it's just
Mm.
sand.
Okay.
So Doran will,
The
Doran
captain will tell you Memneheb is about 30 miles that way.
So I'll send a sending to the Pharos to ask him to send a ship out for us. And I think we rest on the ship tonight, right? I don't think we walk through the sands at night.
No.
Mm.
And then in the evening, so I'll do that. And then in the evening, I'm going to approach Gemini and say, your Madra, she was a clairvoyant. They
Yes.
they were a clairvoyant. They saw
were.
the future.
Yeah.
Something of this magic exists also in our world, Gemini. And I happen to know certain spells which can also predict the future in some degree. And I offer them to you in case it will help. I can cast a divination spell and get a truthful response about course of action. So in case you need it, let me know. I can be useful in this regard.
I appreciate you showing your use. And I would be grateful for that. It would, in a way, help me feel a little at home.
I'm happy to do so.
Let's divinate.
So whenever you want, as long as I have a 4th level spell, I can divination. But you tell me what you want to ask. Yeah.
Okay.
It can be now or it can be later. Yeah, I'm just.
No,
telling you what
I
you
want to know stuff now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So I'll set up the incense.
But it's well.
The spell puts you in contact with a god or god's servants. You can ask one question about a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The DM offers a truthful reply, which might be a short phrase or cryptic rhyme. It doesn't account for circumstances that might change the answer, such as casting of other spells.
Well, given what we may know, I'd like us to ask, does the truth lie below?
Mm-hmm, nice.
Okay. So I'll set up the incense on the prow of the ship, Guy, and in the evening dusk air, little wisps of smoke drift up into the sky. And Gottfried, sorry, I'm not Gottfried.
Who are you?
Get out of my head.
So Doran starts the prayer, and it seems to be going well, but as he's kind of resting into his kind of moment of divination, where his eyes start to turn a bit milky white, the wisps of smoke start to twist into visions of Georgina and of the last moments, and he's very, at some point, distracted. He starts to hear her cry and her shout in his ears.
Can I see what the smoke is doing?
I mean, I think so. Why not?
If I see the pain and
Yeah.
I can sympathize with the pain, I will put my hand on yours to comfort you.
Okay, and in this divination moment, he feels the comfort and he calms down and relaxes, and he asks the question that Gemini asked.
Does the truth lie below?
To whom are you asking this question?
I am asking it to my God.
Halvoth.
Halvoth, if he is listening. Oh, actually, no. Hang on. I'm learning. He's not. He's more about life and death.
Yeah.
I want to know about secrets. So I am posing this question to my wonderful twins, the Kalassi sisters.
Sassy Kalassi.
Sassy
The Sassy Kalassi.
As their friends call him.
You have a great relationship with them.
Oh yeah, they love him.
Yeah.
They think he's great.
I mean, yeah, last time I pissed them off a little bit, but I did try and make up for it. So maybe as I'm posing this question, I'm putting myself in their power and saying that
I'm real sorry.
I'm sorry, but I still intend to make it up for you. And I think this is an important question, which covers also the gods have an interest in this whole thing as well.
And your question is?
Does the truth lie below?
Right. So you asked that.
Yeah.
And there's this calmness that the Khaleesi sisters have. And suddenly you get the response of, we'll tell you if you tell us who asked the question.
Yeah. I mean,
And you have to tell us first.
oh yes, this is the two
Mind games. The mind games. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a faithful, God-believing man, so I will simply say, my companion Gemini asked me.
The one who doesn't belong. The answer is yes. And farewell. And we'll be back next week.
Nice.
Ooh, the one who
Nice,
doesn't
nice, nice.
belong.
All righty. Thank you, everybody. So, favorite moment?
I know what my favorite moment is.
What is it?
15.
Me.
You, sir.
I am just absolutely loving this puzzle. This little not that puzzle.
That's what my favorite moment was.
This is like this is a nightmare that I'm never going to touch. The puzzle of the crepuscularium and the tattoo and the whole thing. I love it. I'm eating it up. It's great.
You're just
I
enjoying it.
absolutely love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
Intellectual
agree.
puzzle.
I think it's a lot of fun. I think what you guys are doing is a lot of fun. I think the teamwork that you guys are doing to solve these things is a lot of fun as well. All right, so there you go. What's your favorite moment? Leave a comment down below and let us know. Until next time, then, follow the links to find all of these people's wonderful things, the books that have been written by the authors, the podcasts that have been podded by the casters. I don't know what the active action is of creating a podcast.
Podcastery, I'm sure.
Like tomfoolery, but podcastery.
Podcastery.
What's this podcaster?
I like it.
Well, whatever it is, it's absolutely enjoyable. And we will see you all again next week. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.